Starting tomorrow, the city of Miami begins its annual fundraiser for organizations across the city.
Give Miami-Dade a 24-hour online campaign.
Raise awareness and inspires all of us.
24-hour fundraising blitz for local charities.
Dozens of organizations are on the receiving end of some generous monetary gifts.
It is barely 10 o'clock in the morning, and we already have $14 million from almost 60,000 donations that have come in.
Because Miami deserves that and more. We love you. Let's give Miami $10,000!
Across this community, there are 1,000 organizations. All they do every single day is stand up for Miami, and today is our day to stand up for them. What does it take to produce the biggest single city fundraiser in the country? You're about to find out. Today, we're going to talk about Give Miami Day. I'm Rebecca Fishman Lipsey. I'm the president and CEO of the Miami Foundation. We love, it is our favorite day of the year is Give Miami Day, and we're going to take you behind the curtain to talk a bit about how we have raised, about $190 million over the last few years in producing this day and growing. And there's a lot that people don't know about what this day is, why we do it, and how the community can benefit from it. And we want you to hear all about it. So I have several of my friends and colleagues from the Miami Foundation here with us today, and you're going to hear all about it. First, to start, we have Jocelyn and Caroline here. Let's maybe just start with quick intros so people know who you are and what you do at the foundation.
Perfect. My name is Jocelyn Noya Quintana. I am the Vice President of Communications at the Miami Foundation.
Hi, I'm Caroline Miller. I'm the Director of Capacity Building.
So let's start first with the why. Why are we, there's a lot that goes into this day and a lot that the community gets out of this day. Why are we doing this? Will you kick us off?
Yeah. I think at its root, people think that Give Miami Day is all about raising money for nonprofits, which it is. But when we think about what our goal is at the Miami Foundation, our goal is to create a community where everyone can thrive. If you actually want to achieve that, you need every single person having an opportunity to show up and play a role in changing Miami in the way that they want so that it's a community where they want to live. So Give Miami Day is just that. So we create a day that everyone can get involved in, where you can watch your community stand up together and unite for good and to support the people doing good in our community every day and feel proud to call this place home. So that's why we host it beyond the support for nonprofits, to make sure that everyone in Miami looks at us and says, wow, I'm so glad I live here.
Yeah, I love the way you put that. I have loved this day for so long. I loved it as a nonprofit leader. I loved this as a donor and with my family. But I think over the last few years, now that I'm at the foundation, seeing it from the inside, I love this day because of the unity that it creates. This is a really divisive time in our world, and seeing hundreds of thousands of donations come in from a community that cares about itself, that's standing up together, seeing all of our organizations fundraising at the same time, it fires me up. It makes me feel so proud. And I hope everybody in Miami, this is a day where they look around and everywhere they look, they just feel proud of the place they live. So I love that. And from the nonprofit perspective, knowing that this is your slice of expertise at the foundation, why are we doing, what is this for nonprofits?
Yeah, so this is the this community-wide annual fundraising event is a very powerful opportunity for nonprofits to raise flexible dollars every year. For hundreds, we have over 1,400 organizations participating this year, which is the record highest. And for hundreds of them, this is their biggest opportunity of the year to raise unrestricted flexible dollars that power the mission-driven work, which is what got them into this business in the first place. And I think what folks sometimes don't realize is these are the nonprofits that are really the heartbeat of our city. They're supporting after-school programs, job development, advocacy. They're providing health care. And this is our opportunity as a city to really invest back in them and help them to continue to deliver those critical services that we all are very reliant on.
Yeah.
And I think this year in particular, as we've seen cuts across federal and state and local levels, and we've seen a contraction in individual giving, this day really counts and is just a huge opportunity to drive funds to the nonprofits.
Yes, and flexible funds, general operating funds, the kind of resources nonprofits need. So I love that. We want to make sure every nonprofit in our community across every issue area gets the resources they need, not just the dollars, but also the community of support that they need. So I love this day for them. So let's start first with capacity building, which in itself is a wonky term. So maybe we just start with defining terms. When we say capacity building, what are we talking about?
Yeah, capacity building is really investing in nonprofits to help them build skills, to fine-tune processes, to build infrastructure for their organizations, to expand their access to resources, to expand their access to peer-to-peer learning and to get technical expertise from experts. It's really about, for me, it's about how do we support nonprofits in meeting their priority growth needs and their long-term sustainability so that they can deliver the mission-driven work that they're so passionate about. And for me, I'm a big believer that the well-being of our city is directly tied to the well-being of our nonprofits and the staff that lead them. And so for us, that has looked like us deeply listening to nonprofits about what content and what format they would like capacity building offerings to be given to them so that we're meeting them where they are and helping them to meet challenges and to deliver their work as effectively as possible. And so that could look like workshops on fundraising and budgeting, on strategic communications. It could look like one-on-one technical assistance that a nonprofit is getting to help fine-tune its elevator pitch to a donor. It might look like pro bono legal support that law firms in Miami are providing to nonprofits to help them make sure that they have a robust and healthy infrastructure and help them to meet legal questions that they face. And it may even, for example, we have like a cohort-based opportunity for about 15 nonprofits each year where they're really building out their digital strategy. So for us, capacity building is really meeting organizations where they are. And I think most importantly, them not feeling alone. It's really hard and lonely to lead and run a nonprofit.
So true.
And them knowing that there are folks out there who have expertise, who can hold them and hug them and hold their hand when things are challenging, and that there's a group of other nonprofits who have been through it too, and so they're part of a larger community.
Love that. So if you're tuning in and you know this is about Give Miami Day, so what does capacity building have to do with Give Miami Day? So let's go there for a second.
Yeah.
So I think we've been doing this now 14 years, and when we started, the first focus was dollars. How do we get more dollars for nonprofits? We need healthier, stronger, more resilient nonprofits. Let's make sure we can produce this fundraiser for all of our organizations to raise the funds, and we'll promote the heck out of it. We'll get lots of people giving. And then over time, what we realized is we need to support our organizations more broadly than just the raising the funds on this day. And so we began doing capacity building in the lead up to Give Miami Day and then more year round. Mm-hmm. So just to help people understand, because many people, they know it's a day. It's a day, they show up on that day. But outside of this day, what is happening that is capacity building focused?
Yeah, so we've been, for us, it's been Give Miami Day season, I think, since August 1st. And so really each week since August, we've either been out in community or virtually engaging with nonprofits, really looking to support them. They want to drive dollars to their campaigns this year, and we want to support them in doing that. And so for us this year, it's really been heavily focused on strategic fundraising and strategic communications. We're really helping organizations to either to really think through audience segmentation. So do they want to look at their existing donors and really how to cultivate and make asks of them and bring them along to champion their mission, or do they want to reach out to new donors? And I think folks are very quickly often say, we want new donors, and of course. But I think this year we really dived into what does relationship cultivation look like with existing donors? What does it mean to get to really know your donors? What brought them into the fold in the first place? How can you kind of strengthen their connection to the organization? And thinking through like different types of communication may work best for different audiences. And so helping nonprofits to kind of strategize around that. The other thing that we did heavily this year is helping folks to really kind of master their pitch. So how do you succinctly capture what your organization does in a compelling, succinct way, and really focusing, like grounding different stakeholders and donors in the why of what they do? And then I think the last thing I'll mention is 2 things that we piloted this year for the first time that I really am energized by. One is strategic storytelling. So we funded a handful of nonprofits to have professional videos developed that help to tell their story. And what's neat about this is these are digital assets that are, of course, useful for their Give Miami-Dade campaign, but will hopefully be an asset that they're able to leverage for years to come to really, help to paint the narrative of who they are and what they're about and where they come from and the impact that they're having. And then just a few weeks ago, we did a training with members of the board of directors of nonprofits.
That was fun. Yeah.
We had over 200 people in a virtual room, really amazing participation and questions. And this was really a crash course in fundraising. If you sit on a board, what does it mean to be the most effective fundraiser and champion of that organization for Give Miami-Dade and beyond? So I think for us, Give Miami-Dade is our largest capacity building effort of the year, but so much of what we're focused on is, I think, skills and strategies that are widely applicable year-round.
Totally. I mean, and this came from the data from us seeing from our nonprofits that almost half of them don't have a single person on their team focused on fundraising. They don't have a single person on their team focused on communications. And so we're hosting this big fundraiser, but we need to help our organizations to more effectively tell their story and elevate what they're doing and cultivate their networks. And that some of that is about the coaching and support and also us bringing extra hands on deck to help them do that. So thank you. You're crushing it. It's really fun to see. This really has transformed over the last few years. And I think has shifted Give Miami-Dade from being a day of funding to being a year of coaching, support, and resources for nonprofits. So thank you for that. Jocelyn, I'm coming your way. So this day, it's really about throwing a party everyone wants to come to. I want it to be that you cannot be alive in Miami on Give Miami Day and not know today is your day. Thank you. Today is your day to give, and that you love and know about all these organizations in your neighborhood that you care about. And so there's no pressure, but you and your team are trying to figure out how to get every single eyeball in this county on this day, on our nonprofits, feeling passionate, feeling generous, and giving. So just lay the landscape for us, because this day has tripled over the last few years. That didn't happen by accident. What are you doing that is building audience?
Yeah. So I'm going to start with a fun story. So when I was coming into the Miami Foundation, I got invited to Give Miami Day. And I was sitting around a table at breakfast, and there was this moment where everyone was invited to look under their table, and strategically a nonprofit was placed at every table. This box came out, and they opened the box, and these balloons came floating out, and there were checks on every single balloon. And I hadn't yet started in my role. And my moment was, oh my goodness, I get to be Oprah. I'm going to date myself, right? But there is a show where she would say, you get a car, you get a car. And that's when I knew that this would be my favorite day of all the things I get to work on at the Miami Foundation. But what I think is important for marketing is that folks know the name Give Miami-Dade, but they don't fully understand what it does and what it opens for our community. And so when we think about getting the word out, yes, you're going to see us on buses. You're going to see us on the metro rails. You're going to see us at the train stations. You're going to see us on billboards and bus shelters. But what we need to do is help people experience what Give Miami-Dade is all about. And so we do that in a few strategic ways. This is an example of it, us being here. But we make sure that you can interact with nonprofits. So you're going to hear a little bit later about different events that we host where we're not the ones talking. We're inviting the nonprofits to interact with our community so that folks can get to understand the work that they do, the vital work that they do for the community, and fall in love with those nonprofits and then be more likely to give. We pursue interviews where we don't just get to talk about the fact that the day is happening, but why does this day happen? What do we do why is this important for our community, and why is it important for our nonprofits? And then we have specific audiences this year. We know that our business community is a place where we can grow so much in terms of the way people show up. And so we've been engaging with chambers of commerce and showing up at different events. We also are working with our PTAs. Our PTAs provide so much support in the education issue area outside of what happens in classrooms. And so they need to be supported as well, and ensuring that they can be there on Give Miami Day. They can be participating and making sure that all of our schools are getting that extra support. And so what's important is that we don't just say the name, but we talk about why we do this and why it's important, because that's what makes people fall in love and want to get involved.
Oh, I love that. Yes. So everyone who's tuning in, they should know this is happening. They should know why we're doing it. They should be excited and hopefully moved to action. And you all are doing it. I see the bus stops that are lit up. I see the advertisements. People are texting me all day. So the word is getting out. And I'm so proud. I'm so excited. So would love for you just to take a second. I'm hoping that people who are tuning in are watching this and saying, I want to help, call on me. And so just take that moment, look at the camera and tell people if they could do one thing that would help today, what should they be doing?
You're killing me. Only one. I'm going to go with two.
Go with two.
All right. So the first thing that you can do is follow our social media. So if you go to the Miami Foundation, especially our Instagram account, our LinkedIn account, we are keeping you updated on every single thing that's happening. We are helping you learn about nonprofits. We are telling you about our events. We are keeping you updated on the money that's coming in. We are sharing about the prizes and the matching funds that we're giving to nonprofits. And so those are all things that you can share because it's a giant celebration. And so the more that you share it, the more that it creates a wave of communication for people to be talking about it. But the second thing I would say, going back to my point, is don't just say Give Miami-Dade. Talk about why it's important. And so sitting around a table with your friends and family or your colleagues actually goes a lot farther than anything I could buy on a billboard or on a bus shelter. And so when you choose to give, or if you're considering or finding a new nonprofit, talk about what you've learned about that nonprofit, why it's important for them to get that support, and encourage other people in your network to also show up for this day. Because when we show up, that's when we can actually make sure that our nonprofit sector thrives.
Love it. Well, thank you so much, Jocelyn, Caroline. We're going to do a quick set change and invite two more of my partners at the Miami Foundation over here. And while we do that, I would love to make sure you know who is producing this behind the scenes. So, Rachel, can you put the camera on you for a second? Say hi. Everyone can see in your bedazzled purple hat. Yes, look at you. You're fantastic. We so appreciate you and everything that you do. And I'm excited to welcome to the table Nikisha and Julissa to talk a little bit about what's happening in the lead up to Give Miami-Dade and what's going to happen on the day of. So Nikisha, let's start with you for a moment. A lot of people, when they hear Give Miami-Dade, they know the day, they'll see the date, they'll know, okay, this is happening on the 20th. It is always the Thursday before Thanksgiving, so they know that's coming, but they don't know a lot of the buildup that's happening in advance. But you know. So first of all, introduce yourself, and then tell us a bit about what's happening in the lead up.
Yeah, so Nikisha Williams, Vice President of Collective Impact at the Miami Foundation. And like Jocelyn, Give Miami-Dade is literally my favorite day out of the year. And to the point, yes, cowbell, please. And it's not just the day. There's so much happening in the lead up to it. And so I would say we probably kick off, I would say part of it November 1st, which is where we are working hand in hand with many of our elected officials, some of our corporate partners, to go out and surprise many of the nonprofits in our community with surprise and delight. And so over the past couple of the years, this has been a really fun way for us to engage our corporate partners and our elected officials, and even just celebrate the amazing work that our nonprofits are doing by going and surprising them with a donation. It is really hard for all of our nonprofits to raise money during Give Miami-Dade. They are working really hard to really kind of rally support from their donors. And so it's a really just special way to surprise them and acknowledge them for the work that they're doing all day long. But it also adds a little extra oomph because before they even get into Give Miami-Dade, they know that they've got some of those dollars in their pocket already raised because of the support of an elected official or a corporate partner.
I love that. And I mean, it's important also because we're trying to ready our community for the most important moments of giving of the year.
Yes.
And so it's like November, giving season has arrived, and hopefully you're going to begin to see purple, not only on us, and we take it seriously, but you're going to see it around the community. You're going to see surprise gifts happening. You're going to be looking around wondering how you can be a part of that. Yep. And so I love the surprise and delights, but we're having some in the lead up, and then a lot that are happening the week of Give Miami-Dade. But there is something new that you are helping to cook this year in the Give Miami-Dade kitchen. So will you talk a little bit about that 5K?
Yeah.
And
so
festival?
Yes. So this year we are hosting the Give Miami 5K and Festival.
What?
And so yes. So we are kicking off Give Miami-Dade in a really big way. And so what we know is that many of our nonprofits have said, I want to figure out how to reach more people. I am out doing this work. I really want to be a good fundraiser. I want to figure out how to reach more people. And at the same time, we know that Miami is growing. It is growing quite quickly. And we also know that when people move to new cities, they're oftentimes finding a run club to kind of find their first community. And so we thought, what a great way to kind of marry Give Miami-Dade as people are trying to find their first community. How do we help them find their first social impact community. How do we help them find the issues that they care about in this community? How do we match them up with some of the amazing nonprofits in our community? And so we decided to host the Give Miami 5K and Festival the week before, or a few days before Give Miami Day, where we are going to bring out our nonprofit partners, new donors, corporate partners to run in support of our nonprofits. And what's amazing about the 5K is that when you register, 100% of that registration fee goes to the nonprofit of your choice. So you're going to get all of the goodies that you get in a race, right? You're going to get to run the 5K. You're going to get the fun shirt and the amazing medal. But your dollars, they go directly to the nonprofit that you choose. And what we know is that this is also a really special event because our nonprofits now have the opportunity to engage some of their donors outside of the online giving platform. Yeah. So over the past few years, it has really just been about the online giving platform. And different people want different ways to experience donation and giving. And so now for the first time ever, our nonprofits have the opportunity to do it kind of on a larger scale to reach donors who want kind of something engaging, something beyond just the online platform.
Totally. And I've been proud to see we had last year 109,000 donations come on this day. And those were donations that came from, here's a link, click here. Like that was enough for 109,000 yeses. But the question is, how do we get everybody in Miami engaged? And for some people, an online link is not enough. They want to be in community. They want to be with each other. And so I love it that we have something active that everyone can come be a part of. And I've also heard from many of our organizations, we have a lot of small or mid-sized organizations who could never produce a 5K race, but have always wanted to do something like that with their donors. So to be able to do the backbone of that and allow over 1,000 organizations to rally their networks to get out and run with each other and celebrate with each other, it's a really nice way with which to build crowd. But my favorite fact, Nikisha, is what percentage of the people participating are new. Yeah. They're not coming with a nonprofit that recruited them. They're coming straight cold to this race, and they're finding their cause through the race. So, wow, everybody.
Last time I checked this number, there were about 59%. Yes!
What?
59% of the people who are participating in the Give Miami 5K and Festival, they are new. They don't serve on a board. They don't work for the nonprofit. They are new and engaging in this space. And so that is really exciting.
It's a really big deal. A lot of what we're thinking about at the foundation is how do we grow audience? Mm-hmm. And it's really been our push for the last few years is how do we get more people who are not yet engaged with our organizations to find the cause they care about? And I feel like you hit a nerve in a really good way. I know that's just the first year. We're experimenting. We're taking risks. It's going to be amazing. It's at the crack of dawn. Whether you walk or whether you run, get out there with us. What is the website if people want to go see?
GiveMiami5K.org.
Yes, get on there. And now I'm excited to talk to Julissa a little bit about mission control and what happens on the day of on Give Miami Day. So first, Julissa, introduce yourself and what you do at the foundation.
Julissa Rivera, and engagement manager at the Miami Foundation.
And what does that mean?
I love saying that I've become the nonprofit's bestie. Yeah. So I get to know you, and that is the best role in the world.
It is. And the truth is, I feel like that was your role before it was your role. That's just who you are as a person. And so it's really fun to see you just step into your excellence as your job. It's amazing. And we love having you on the team. Tell us a bit about what happens on the day of Give Miami Day. And when we're calling mission control, what is that?
So that is, for context and making it very Miami, that's when we open our doors, we find a house, like a huge house where everybody gets to come in, and we set this huge table and everybody gets a seat at this table, and we spend the entire day together, well, most of the day, right? Because this starts at midnight and ends at midnight. But for the chunk of the day, we are together and we're cheering you on. We're rallying you. We are giving you the love that you deserve. On this day, we just say, you know what? Enjoy, sit down. We've cooked, have the meal. Together, which is the best part. And I just love it so much that every year we've grown, and every year we've gotten more creative. Because I remember in 2020, we did this online, and that was fun.
That was hard
to have done it online, but it's a day when we're together and we just give the love that the nonprofit community gives us every day. We give it all back.
Yeah. And so just to be the historian in the group, years ago, And I just want to give some love to Radical Partners, who I hope is tuning in. We love you. We appreciate you and all the work that you do and have done for Mission Control. So years and years ago, before I was at the Miami Foundation, I was over at Radical Partners. And we worked with a lot of small, growing organizations. And we saw Give Miami Day. And a lot of our organizations, they didn't have large teams. They definitely didn't have fundraising departments. And they were alone on this day, on their couch, refreshing their page, fundraising. We're like, we need to make a space where nonprofits can be together and get tech support and get cheered and get help and be with each other and feel that sense of community. And so Radical Partners launched this concept of mission control. And I remember when I was with them, the foundation would, Lindsay would come out and Javier, who was my predecessor at the foundation, would come out and they would come and show support and they would pay for the lunch. We appreciated that. But this really was a Radical Partners creation years ago. And when I came over to the Miami Foundation, Radical Partners continued to host that back office. They've been very involved with Caroline and the team in capacity building, but they're going to be co-hosting a lot of this with us on the day of. And it's really grown over time, us thinking through, we know this is an online event, but what could it feel like if everybody came together? So maybe tell everyone, Julissa, where are we going to be this year and what's going on the day? Just a little sprinkling of when you show up, what can you expect?
Well, you can expect a lot of love for sure, because that's our center. But you're going to expect, you get to the Lone Depot Park. So we're going to be at the Marlins Park. Yes.
On the floor of the arena.
On the field, which
Very
is
cool.
When I got on the field, I was like, oh my God, this is real. I'm taking pictures, sending it to my mom. Like, I'm here. So
Miami.
Of course. So I hope we all do that. But the minute you get out of your car, it's going to be purple and you're going to feel unified. You're going to feel loved. You're going to be supported. And you're just going to drink the purple Kool-Aid with us. And when you get out of the car, you're in the elevator, and then you're going to be greeted by nonprofit leaders. And you're just going to feel like it's your birthday. And we hope that you leave feeling exactly that we celebrated you for the hard work that you all do every day, and that that we are right behind you, that we're doing this together, and that this day, we're going to raise some serious dollars so that we can continue doing some good. But this day, we loved on you.
Yes, totally. And so some practicals. We have over 1,000 people right now that are RSVP'd for this day and counting. We start with a kickoff breakfast, which is almost sold out. So if you haven't pressed RSVP yet, press RSVP before it closes out. We want you there with us. But we're hosting a giant kickoff breakfast, star-studded. And then after breakfast, we have hours of capacity building, support for nonprofits, coaching. We have a volunteer fair that'll be going on. We need some more volunteers, so come out and join us and support our organizations. We have a phone bank going, so you can make thank you calls for our nonprofits. You can. We have all sorts of content stations and podcast studios and radio stations that'll be there with us. We're ending the day with a happy hour. And it's nice. This day is so beautiful for our community. You can see that ticker going with all the donations coming in and just feel the power of everybody together. So thank you for everything that you are both doing to help make this day possible. We're going to close out with one more set change and talk to Caroline just one more time about, okay, year round, what are we doing with all this information? So thank you both so much. Caroline is sneaking in. So again, you've gotten the feel so far for Give Miami Day about how we promote this day and build audience and, what we're doing to train and coach nonprofits and what we're doing in the lead up to Give Miami Day and the 5K race and mission control and how we're supporting organizations. But Caroline, I want to talk to you just zooming out for a second about this day. So we have an application for the day. Mm-hmm. We have 1,400 and change organizations that are participating. And we collect a lot of info. And so I've had a lot of organizations ask me, Rebecca, why is the application so long? What are you doing with all this information? Yeah. And actually, a lot. And so would love if you could just, for a moment, help zoom out and help people understand, what are we doing with the information that we are collecting? It's basically a health check. Mm-hmm. For our entire nonprofit sector across every issue area. What are we doing with that information?
Yeah. So really, this is the richest data set that we have about our nonprofit ecosystem here. And so the way that then informs decision making for the foundation and beyond is tremendous. And what's incredible is we've been collecting data for over 13 years now. So we have a real pulse on year over year trends, and we're able to have a sense of what are the different issue areas that nonprofits are working in, where are they located, where are they not, what are their budget sizes, what are the challenges that they're experiencing, who are their leaders. And so it's just a really rich, robust set of data that has allowed us to be much more intentional in the asks that we're making of donors in terms of where to direct dollars, and as a conversation starter for other stakeholders to make informed decisions.
Totally. And for us as well, as the community's foundation, and we're stewarding hundreds of millions of dollars that have been set aside to invest in the most important issue areas in our community. And we have to make choices about what do we do with that. And also, we're constantly gathering philanthropists and steering them on the way that they invest. And the question is, what can we learn from our organizations? We see both from their reports, but also from the donations. We see changes in where donors give and how they give. And it has led to over the last few years alone, just a couple major shifts. And so would love to just dig in with you a little bit on a couple of places where we saw something in the data and it was noticeable for us. And then as a result of it, we made a change. One of them that I think about is data related to like flexible resources and nonprofits who have all these government grants that are being paid in reimbursement.
Yeah.
Maybe you can talk a little bit about what did we learn and then what did that make us do?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good example. And I'll just flag for the audience, we have this awesome report. This is 2024 by the numbers.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Thanks to our comms team and data team for designing this. And it's available on our website. It's a great resource. And I'm just opening this page here so that I can get the data, the stat right. But basically, based on the data from last year, we saw that 26% of nonprofits are in what we would call the danger zone, we describe the danger zone as more than a quarter of their funding is based on reimbursements. And so what that means is they're receiving funding from grant makers, from government, that the nonprofit has to front the funds to deliver the program and then submit for reimbursement after the fact. For some organizations, this is no problem, but for many, it's a huge burden, and it may require that the nonprofit take out a very expensive loan to do so while they wait for the grant funds to come in.
Right.
And so this information that we gleaned from the Give Miami-Dade data sets positioned us to have strategic conversations with other stakeholders and funders across Miami. And we're really excited that in the last year, we've been able to pilot an affordable, what we're calling a bridge loan program, an affordable short-term loan program to help organizations make ends meet, to kind of get them from A to Z as they're waiting for that reimbursement to come in.
Yeah, so I was really excited to see that happen. And I've seen now the money actually cycle through several times. Organizations who, if they weren't able to get the access to those resources, would never be able to do the work to then get the grant that's coming their way. And so I'm glad. And we wouldn't have known that was a need had we not asked organizations about the state of their finances. And we're doing that, first of all, to vet organizations before we publish them on the site on this day, because donors are trusting us that every organization on this site has been vetted, but also on our end to really understand the health of our organization. So I'm curious, on your end, are there any other data points that came out where you saw it and you know that it led to a change?
Yeah. So I think one that's really excited that the community investments team is just really proud of this shift is we found through the data that 30% of organizations have restricted funds.
Yeah.
So that means dollars that they don't have true flexibility about how they use it. It's tied to a specific program or deliverable. And so that prompted us to bring to start to talk with the Frederick A. DeLuca Foundation, which is a major partner and funder of ours, about the challenges that nonprofits face with restricted funding. And so we have our community grants program, which has been a huge pillar of the Miami Foundation's model for years. But back in 2023, with the support of the DeLuca Foundation, we undertook some major changes to make the grants that we now give to nonprofits be flexible, general operating support. So that's, I think, another great example. The other one that comes to mind is really around you can slice and dice the data in a million different ways. And so we really try to do that to illuminate where there's where we see disparities as well. And I'm just going to reference the statistics. So I think last year we found that 22% of the participating organizations in Give Miami-Dade were Black-led nonprofit organizations, but unfortunately, those organizations only received 12% of the funds.
Right.
And so why is that? So not only does it spark a real curiosity, but also I think a real call for accountability and exploration. And so for us, that then means, how are we inviting folks to the table to have conversations about why that is? How are we illuminating it? We have an annual State of Black Philanthropy. We've proudly hosted this event for 10 years, and that's really an opportunity to name the disparities and the inequities that we see, and also to call for folks to step up and to hopefully steward dollars in really intentional, more equitable ways.
Yeah, I love that event, and I've loved for years the opportunity to recognize the mass generosity of our Black community, and also over the last 3 years publishing that data and being clear with our entire philanthropic network that this is the state of funding in our community. Here's where equity lies, and how are we going to hold ourselves as a foundation accountable to change? And it's led to a variety of things, from our Saltwater Fellowship to the differences in the publishing of that report. And so, I'm really glad that we don't just host this day, raise the funding, celebrate, put out a good meme on social media, and say, great, we did the thing. We use this, it anchors a year of capacity building and support for nonprofits, and also it shifts the way that we talk to the entire community about what issues matter, where we want to steer people's attention for the rest of the year. And so I'm really grateful for it. I'll say one other thing, which is that this website, for better and worse, is the best place right now. If you just got to Miami and you care about animals and you want to know who's doing what, going on that search bar and saying animals, and then it populates for you all of the organizations and has a page that they created where you can skim and see who's doing what in your neighborhood, I think has been really important. And so I know your team year-round is constantly fielding requests on, I care about this issue area, where can I find an organization? And this has become a tool year-round for that kind of advisement for people. Is there anything else you'd want to share with people about just year-round, what kind of either intelligence or knowledge people can gain from a site like this?
Yeah, and so the site that we're talking about is the givemiamidade.org site. And yeah, I really think of that as kind of the home base for nonprofits. So if you want to, like Rebecca said, if you want to learn about an issue area, it is an incredible starting place. And I think you often hear about a few anchor names, and those organizations are incredible in our community, but it's an amazing way to also learn about other organizations doing work. And yeah, I mean, you can play around. Each page gives you a flavor of who the leadership is. It offers photos, videos. It can direct you back to their website. This is nonprofits' opportunity to tell their own story. We aren't writing this content. This is their language, their narrative, and we're just so humbled to be able to have a platform to be able to uplift it and to give it mass attention.
Spot on. Amazing. So I'm going to wrap us quickly, share just a few closing thoughts, and I want to invite my entire team to come on back so that we can share one closing message with the group. But as they're coming onto the stage, I will share this. Give Miami-Dade is coming up in just a couple weeks. Giving season is happening right now. You're going to see the community turn purple very soon, if not already. And we want you to know that early giving is starting on November 15th. That's a Saturday. The website goes live. On Sunday morning, the 16th, we are going to be running or walking or festivaling. It's at Museum Park. We want you there with us. Over 1,000 organizations you can choose from. You run, and whatever cause you want to run for, 100% of your registration fee is going to them. We want you there with us also on Give Miami-Dade. We'll be in Lone Depot Park. You do have to RSVP. We want our nonprofits there so that we can shower you with love and technical support and resources and surprise donations all day long. So please come out, be there with us. If you're a donor, and by the way, everybody in Miami on Give Miami-Dade is a donor, whether it's $25 or $25,000. We want you there with us. This is the way that we show that here in Miami, we are the most generous community in the world. And that's the kind of community that we are building here in Miami. We know the data in history's past has shown that we had low civic health, and what that meant is low voter turnout and low volunteerism, and amongst the lowest donation rates in the country, even though we're one of the wealthiest cities. And we said, no, that's not the Miami that we know and love. Here at the Miami Foundation, we see an incredibly generous slice of our community. And we're going to make sure that in the future, Miami is the most generous city in the world. And that is what we have built. So to see Give Miami-Dade grow over 14 years to become the largest single city giving day in the country, it's amazing. It's beautiful. You did that. We're doing that together, and we want you there with us on the day. So get out and enjoy with us. We do have match dollars and prizes that are getting published on the website probably as I speak right now. So get on there and see all of the amazing things and ways that you can maximize your dollars and show support. But I want to end us with just one thought, which is we have a bit of a reflection on what you will give Miami. Like, what do you want to give Miami? And so I would love to end with just what do you want to give Miami? And I'm going to start, Jocelyn, first with you.
Sure.
But you're going to have to lean in towards that mic.
All right. So I want to give Miami hope because I think that is what we most need right now. We need our nonprofits to know that they're not alone. And when we show up for Give Miami Day, they know that there is hope to be able to continue doing their work into the future.
I feel that, and that was my word, so I'm going to think of another one before we get to me. Nikisha.
I want to give Miami equity because there's so many nonprofits that are struggling, and there's so many all of the nonprofits are doing such amazing work, and this team is doing such great work making sure that we can lift up all of our nonprofits, and so I want to make sure that we can continue to support our nonprofits so that they have equity, so that they can show up and do the work that they need to.
I love that. Caroline, what do you want to give Miami?
Yeah, I want to give Miami a sense of belonging, regardless of who you are, where you come from. There is a place for you here. You belong here, and we are here for you.
Oh, I love that. And Julissa, so beautiful, right? What do you want to give Miami?
I want to give Miami joy. I think that right now our community needs it.
Yeah.
So I want to, if for one day we can be your source of joy, we are here.
I feel that. And I want to give Miami you. We have an incredible community, and I don't know what it is that floats your boat, that makes you wake up in the morning fired up about this community. But whatever that is, our community needs you and really benefits from you being here. We want every single person in Miami, everyone who calls this place home, to love this place and feel a part of the shaping of the future of Miami. So thank you for being a part of this day. It only works because everyone shows up. So show up on Give Miami Day. It's coming up, early giving on November 15th, and the day itself on November 20th. We want you there. Get on givemiamiday.org. We love you. We appreciate you. Thank you.